Hello everyone. Today we will be doing the last part of 22nd chapter rulers and buildings. Today we will discuss about gardens, tombs and forts. Now under the Mughals, architecture became more complex. Mughal emperors were personally interested in literature, art and architecture. In his autobiography, Babur described his interest in planning and laying out formal gardens placed within rectangular walled enclosures and divided into four quarters by artificial channels. These gardens were called Char Bagh, four gardens, because of their symmetrical division into four quarters. Now, Mughals, they were very fond of literature, art, and architecture, and Babur himself have described in his autobiography that he is having a keen interest in planning and laying out of formal gardens which were rectangular in shape. You can see here a garden is there which is rectangular in shape and it is divided by four corridors and into four quarters, that is four parts. This garden is divided into four parts, so it is known as Char Bagh. And these quarters, you can see the tiles are there and a artificial channel is there or walkway where you can walk. Such type of gardens were made during Mughal architecture, and these gardens were having symmetrical divisions, that is, they were symmetrical in their designs. Beginning with Akbar, some of the most beautiful charbaghs were constructed by Jahangir and Shah Jahan in Kashmir, Agra and Delhi. There were several important architectural innovations during Akbar's period. For inspiration, Akbar's architecture turned to the tomb of Central Asian ancestor Taimur. The central towering dome and the tall gateway Pishtah became important aspect of Mughal architecture, first visible in Humayun's tomb. The tomb was placed in the center of a huge formal charbagh and built in the tradition known as Eight Paradise or Hisht Bihisht. A central hall surrounded by 8 rooms. The building was constructed with red stone edged with white marble. Now, Mughal emperors like Akbar, Jahangir and Shah Jahan, they have constructed this charbagh in Kashmir, Agra and Delhi. And during Shah Jahan's period, there were many constructions. But Akbar, before Shah Jahan, Akbar have already constructed Humayun's tomb, which resembles the Central Asian construction style with a towering dome, that is, dome shaped structure was there is there in Humayun's tomb, and tall gateway, that is known as Pishtah. It became important aspect of Mughal architecture. Now, the tomb was placed in the center of a huge formal charbagh and built in the tradition known as 8 Paradises or Hisht Bihisht. That is the central hall. One hall was there in the center and it was surrounded by 8 rooms. And the building was constructed with red stone edged with white marble. It was during Shah Jahan's period that the different elements of Mughal architecture were fused together in a grand harmonious synthesis. His reign witnessed a huge amount of construction activity, especially in Agra and Delhi. The ceremonial hall of public and private audience, Diwan-e Khas and Diwan-e Aam, were carefully planned. The courts were also described as Chehil Sutoon or 40 pillared halls placed within a large courtyard. Shah Jahan's audience hall were specially constructed to resemble a mosque. Now, Shah Jahan is known for construction. He has constructed many buildings, and especially his construction we can see in Delhi and Agra. The ceremonial hall of public and private audience, which were known as Diwan-e Khas and Diwan-e Aam, They were planned very carefully, and the courts, they were described as Chehil Sutun or 40 pillared hall. One hall was there which was having 40 pillars with large courtyard. And Shah Jahan's audience hall were specially constructed to resemble a mosque. That is, his audience halls resemble mosque. The pedestal on which his throne was placed was frequently described as Qibla, the direction in which Muslims pray, since everybody faced in the direction when court was in session. The idea of the king as a representative of God on earth was suggested by these architectural features. The connection between royal justice and the imperial court was emphasized by Shah Jahan in a newly constructed court in the Red Fort at Delhi. Now, the pedestal or the part where Shah Jahan used to keep his throne, it was known as Qibla, and it was known as Qibla because everybody sitting in the court used to face in that direction. Now, the connection between the royal justice and the imperial court was emphasized by Shah Jahan in his newly constructed court. He constructed a court in Delhi at Red Fort. You can see picture of Red Fort here. Again, you can see Charbagh of Red Fort. You can see the corridors and the gardens. They have symmetrical designs. You can see this famous construction of Shah Jahan, which is at Delhi, Taj Mahal. Here also you can see the dome-shaped structure, the central hall, the dome, the biggest dome or the tallest dome. Then you can see the corridors where people can walk. You can see Charbagh here, and the artificial channel. In the center you can see artificial channel is there. This is Humayun's tomb. Again you can see same type of architecture, dome shaped structure. You have arches, you have corridor to walk there, artificial channel is there, symmetrical gardens are there, Charbagh or 4 quarters. Each garden was divided into 4 quarters. Here you can see a closer look of the artificial channel of Humayun's tomb. Behind the balcony of the emperor's throne, there were a series of Pitradura inlays that depicted the legendary Greek god Ophrys playing the flute. It was believed that Ophrys' music could calm furious beasts until they resided together peacefully. The construction of Shah Jahan's audience hall aimed to communicate that the king's justice would treat the high and the low as equals, where all could live together in harmony. Now, behind the balcony of the emperor's throne, there was a corridor where Greek legendary god Ophrys, he used to play flute, and it was believed that when Ophrys played flute or Ophrys' music was so soothing or so calming that even the ferocious beast, that is the wild animals, they can also calm down listening to that music. The construction of Shah Jahan's audience hall that aimed that all the high and the low, that is the rich people and the poor people, are equal and they can live in harmony together. In the early years of his reign, Shah Jahan's capital was at Agra, a city where the nobility had constructed their homes on the bank of the river Yamuna. These were set in the midst of formal gardens constructed in the Charbagh format. The Charbagh gardens also had a variation that historians described as the riverfront garden. In this garden, the dwelling was not located in the middle of the Charbagh but at its edge, close to the bank of the river. Now, during Shah Jahan's period, the capital was Agra, and he has constructed many buildings there on the bank of the Yamuna river. Now, all these constructions were at Charbagh format, but there were some historians who believe that because it is Yamuna river, or it is constructed on the bank of the Yamuna river, the channels are not in the center but at the edges to the bank of the river. Shah Jahan adapted the riverfront garden in the layout of Taj Mahal, the grandest architectural accomplishment of his reign. Here, the white marble mausoleum was placed on the terrace by the edge of the river, and the garden was to its south. In the new city of Shah Jahanabad that he constructed in Delhi, the imperial palaces commanded the riverfront. Only special favored nobles like his eldest son Dara Shukor were given access to the river. All others had to construct their homes in the city away from river Yamuna. Now, Shah Jahan has constructed his famous building, which is Taj Mahal, on the bank of river Yamuna. This is a mausoleum. Mausoleum means a decorated grave. Inside Taj Mahal, there are graves of Shah Jahan and his wife Mumtaz Mahal. So it is a mausoleum. And he has not given construction to anybody except his eldest son Dara Shukor, and others were supposed to construct their homes or buildings away from the river Yamuna. Here you can see Jodhabai Palace. You can see the pillars and the carved architecture there. Around the same time as Mughals, the Qutub Shahi rulers of Golconda, that is Hyderabad, engaged in extensive building activities. These included construction of Hussain Sagar Lake, the Golconda Fort, a large number of gardens with water channels and fountains, and beautiful tombs for themselves. The famous Charminar and Makkah Masjid were built during their rule. They blended Persian, Mughal and Dakkani styles. Now, when Mughals were ruling in northern India, Qutub Shahis, they were ruling in Hyderabad. They have also copied the same style of construction in Deccan or in Hyderabad. You can see Hussain Sagar Lake or Golconda Fort, and large number of gardens are there with water channels and fountains. And Charminar and Makkah Masjid, this was also built during Qutub Shahi's rule. And Charminar and Makkah Masjid are in the style blended. Style blended means combined styles of Persian, Mughals and Deccani. You can see Qutub Shahi tomb here. Please see the arches, the tomb or the central hall, roof of the central hall, the pillars. On your left, you can see Qutub Shahi's archway. All arches are made. Right also arches are there, but you can see how the roof is carved, or small arches are there on the roof. Here again you can see a picture of Qutub Shahi tomb. Today we have discussed about gardens, tombs and forts. For your homework, what are the elements of a Mughal Charbagh garden? Second question, describe the mausoleum constructed by Shah Jahan. Mausoleum, just now I said that it is a decorated grave. Taj Mahal is a grave of Shah Jahan and his wife Mumtaz Mahal, but because of the decoration or the construction over the graves, it attracts people throughout the world. Third question, write a note on Humayun's tomb. Please write this answer in 8 to 10 points. Thank you.